What's up, Fort Knox? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be back with yet another video for you guys. You know, a lot of you know that I am the #1 Beyonce impersonator in the world, but due to the current condition of the world and what's going on right now with the quarantine, I'm obviously not performing. And so I thought, you know what, since I'm not performing right now, and since you guys haven't gotten that side of me in a while or heard me talk about that part of myself in a while, why not give you a tour of my closet, of my performance closet? And you know, it's really amazing because before I even show you anything in this closet, it's such madness and so crazy. There's a lot of pieces in here that I've worn over the years, and some of them are very iconic. Some of them will be worth something one day or worth something now, but like will go into an archives and possibly, you know, one day be in a museum or something, because some of them I made history while wearing them. And also, a lot of them are exact replicas of Beyonce's costumes, and some of them are just costumes because you guys got to remember, before this quarantine, I was performing a lot, like every weekend, and so I had to have a lot of costumes, and I couldn't just always rely on something that Beyonce was wearing that she has worn on stage. It's always been either something that's an exact replica of something she's worn on stage, something that's like something she's worn on stage, or something that she would possibly wear on stage, something that's true to the character of Beyonce. But before I show you this closet, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because I want you guys to always be updated to when I have new videos out. And if you like this video, make sure that you like it. It really helps out the channel. And share it with a friend. You know, it's gonna be a fun video today. We're not talking about political things today. It's gonna be much more fun than a lot of videos. But yeah, let's just get into it. Now, the first thing that you'll notice about this closet is it's not really that big. A lot of people probably expected me to show you some big, huge, crazy ass room that was, you know, like massive with a whole bunch of stuff going on everywhere. No, I will tell you this. I am not someone, when I'm not performing, I don't like to be reminded of it. I don't want to see a sequins. I don't want to see a bead or a costume just laying around, which is why you won't typically come to my house and see a costume just laying around somewhere. I don't like that. I like to keep everything contained. And it just so happens that I have over like 70 or 80 leotards. It's kind of crazy. I should have counted them before I watched this video. But there's 70 something leotards. I also have a lot of costumes that you won't see today, because I do have an archive upstairs that doesn't fit here in my home. I have it up in storage, and it is a lot going on there. I have all the dancers' costumes. I have all of my costumes, and I have big things that don't fit, like big ball gowns, or big, like anytime you see me wear like those huge ball gowns or huge like replicas of Beyonce's costumes, like the big pink one that I wore recently on my last costume, all of that is upstairs, all the shoes and all of that. So you won't really see any of that, like shoes and all that stuff, but I will show you guys what's here. The first thing you'll notice about this closet is everything is color coordinated. It has to be, because I will be able to find anything. I will forget that I have it. And so everything, and it just looks better. This closet is double hanging, and it just has to be color coordinated, because I would just lose my mind. There is so much stuff in here. Let me just literally go like one by one and show you guys. Now, I won't show you every single thing, but most of the iconic pieces you'll definitely see. So I'm literally just going to go down the line and just start pulling things out, because you guys will definitely recognize a lot of this. This costume you guys have seen before. It takes 2 hangers to hold this thing because it's just so heavy. I've told you guys before that how heavy this costume is. I've shown you in another video. But you guys have seen this costume both in the You Need to Calm Down video, but you've also seen this costume on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. I wore it there when I was on with Kelly Rowland and Nene Leakes from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And of course, Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child. But this costume weighs about 15 pounds. It's so heavy. Just holding it up is crazy. But this is a replica of a costume that Beyonce wore in on the Run tour. Actually, she wore this on the Run tour. She opened the show with this, and the funny thing about this, fun fact about this, is there's many incarnations of this. Being on tour like that, she has to have several costumes and backups. And so there was replicas of it. This is a replica of Balmain, but there were so many of that costume because when I was making this costume, how I figured this out is I will make a costume, I will have every picture of it, and I will blow it up. And there's slight variations that were a little different from picture to picture. And I'm like, that's not the same costume. Like some of the costumes, the garters here were longer. Some of them were, the shape was different right here. But anyway, so this costume took a while to make. This probably took longer to make than any costume that I have. Normally, I can turn around a costume in a matter of just like a day. Like if I just, and sometimes I work on several at a time if I am getting ready for a concert. This costume took a long time. I had a broken back at the time when I made this costume because it was kind of like my comeback costume. But it is my favorite. Probably won't be worn again. I've gotten a lot of wear out of it. And also, I mean, now that it's time for it to go in the archives because it is, you can see it now whenever you want to see it in the You Need to Calm Down video. I wore it there on the stage. So yeah, but it is one of my favorites. It was a labor of love. Every single thing was done by hand. It was a lot. It took a lot. The base of it was done all at once, but then it was with the sewing machine. And then I had to go back and basically put every single stone you see on here, every pearl on here, one by one. And it was a painstaking process, but it was definitely worth it because it got so much attention and I just absolutely love it. This next costume I wore on one of my concerts. It reminds me of a Michael Jackson piece. But I wore it for the finale of one of my concerts. And the crazy thing about these costumes that have fringe like this is they always get my hair stuck in them. Luckily, it's a wig, so, it's fine. But there's so much hair, so when I'm, going to, restore these back, I have to, go through and take all the hair out. It's really crazy like that. But this costume is, see, there's a big ball of hair now. I should have done that. But this costume is really cool because I can get in this costume by myself. It has a long cord right here for the zipper to go up. It has fringe on the back here. But it is not a replica of Beyonce's costume, but it's similar to another costume that she had, which I'm going to show you later that I actually have. But this costume, it's just an amazing, I wore it at the end. And it just I love it because it definitely reminds me of a Michael Jackson kind of, with the epaulets and the, kind of soldier or royalty kind of thing. But I love this one. This next one is, I showed you guys how to make this on my channel, but this definitely will go down in history. I will never wear this again. But I wore it in the photo shoot for the promo for where I made history for the Washington Wizards performing halftime. A lot of you, if you don't know, I am the first transgender woman to ever perform halftime at an NBA game. And I wore this in the promo. This is basically, I took a jersey. So I didn't fully make this, but I took a jersey and I cut it down and turned it into a leotard. And it is a John Wall jersey, number 2. And so yeah, the Washington Wizards, this will always have a special place in my heart. This is how I announced to everyone that I was going to be making history. And I wore this and I absolutely am going to save this for one day to go into an archive of some sort. And speaking of making history as the first trans woman to ever perform at a halftime game, this is actually I wore this to perform at the halftime game, but this is only part of the costume. There was a leotard that goes underneath, and then there is this, it's made of elastic straps. Obviously, I made this too. Like I said, I made everything in this closet, every single thing, but it's an elastic. You probably didn't see all of it because I did wear a little jacket thing on top of it, which might be in here. Yeah, it is in here. Actually, here is the other part to it. It was like a little jacket that went on top for the Wizards colors. And this is basically, there was a red, I don't know where that is. It's not in here? Huh. Oh, yeah, it is. Got it. The whole thing. Okay, so here we go. I've got the red that went on first. And then this went on second, and then this went on. These are, again, this is another archival piece. I will never wear this again, but it was really fun to wear. It was really cool because this is all elastic straps. And it is something that is so special to me. It's probably the most important thing that I've done to date. and I'm really really grateful for that opportunity. But I'm also like, just, you know, when I see these costumes, they bring back memories of that night, and so I love it for that reason. But yeah, this will go down in an archive. Now, this next costume you guys will definitely recognize from the most amazing show ever, which was the Formation Tour. This is a replica of a piece that Beyonce wore of latex. You guys have, if you've been to my show, you might have seen me wear this occasionally. It's probably seen better days because I've worn it a lot. And wearing latex or wearing any kind of pleather or plastic kind of like whatever PVC on stage is really hard because it doesn't hold up that well and you're constantly stretching, and it's really hard to perform in and dance in. But I wore this with thigh-high boots like Beyonce. This is an exact replica of it. If you look, and a fun fact about this, if you look at Beyonce's costume, the amount of pleats that are on here are on hers too. I'm a very detailed, very anal when it comes to sewing. But this was always fun to wear. And funny thing is, this is always like, the men always love this costume. I think because it's made of latex and it's kind of like that girly but kind of a baby doll. I don't know, but men have told me that they're like, oh, that's the sexiest costume ever, and I'm like, really? I think because it's latex. And then I've got these pieces that are sort of like, this was not a replica of Beyonce, but I wore this when I performed Freedom for the first time, and this is completely see-through. Like, you can see straight through this entire thing. It is strategically placed so that my boobs don't show through it, but there's nothing to be worn underneath this except for pantyhose. But this, I love this because this fabric just matches my skin perfectly, and it really does look like I just have applique stuck to me. It sparkles a lot. I don't know if you guys can see that it sparkles a lot there, but maybe not. But it has, like, after I made it, I put all these stones all over it by hand, and I really like this costume, but it doesn't fit anymore. So now this next costume is probably one of the most iconic things Beyonce has ever worn. It is the blue jumpsuit from the Mrs. Carter tour. Such a fun thing to wear. I love it so much. When she first wore it, I was like, I have to have that. Now, I actually saw that show, and I've been to most Beyonce concerts, but I saw this from the front row, and hers was completely made of Swarovski crystals. I wanted to make mine of Swarovski crystals. I just did not. I was under a time crunch, and I couldn't. So this is actually the second one I've made too. But this is actually made of stone, not made of stones, it's made of sequins. Hers is made of stones. I think hers has 150,000 Swarovski crystals on it. Mine just has, is made of, and see, it sticks to the red that was in front of it. But this costume, this cat suit, doesn't have a lot of hanger appeal, but when it's on, it fits completely tight, snug to the body, of course. You guys know the one that I'm talking about. And I made mine out of sequins. You can, it has the same effect when it's on stage. It still sparkles under the lights. There is a little piece here that you guys don't see from when I have it on, and you don't see on Beyonce either, but it's basically to keep this from like busting open and your boobs popping out. But it's a clear piece there that it's like, it's not nude illusion. I would say it's nude illusion, but it doesn't stretch. It's like, it's made of like a screen material, like a very sturdy material. The craziest thing about this is this sequence really sticks to your hair. So if your hair is really curly, when you're like, it really like kind of not pulls, but like you're just kind of like trying to get it out of there. So you always have to be conscious of that when the wind machines are blowing. But obviously it's one of my favorite things, and I'm never going to get rid of it because, you know, I may actually make it again, I don't know, in the stones, so it's more authentic. There's all kind of fun things like this that has like sequins going on. This is not a replica of anything Beyonce's worn, but it's so different from a lot of things that I have because of the color of it. I don't really wear a lot of purple on stage. I don't really wear a lot of lavender, but there's that sequin, that beaded fringe again that gets hair stuck in it all of the time. So now this next piece, this next leotard is something from one of the best, biggest nights of my life. You guys know that I was in Taylor Swift's video for You Need to Calm Down, but I also performed, we opened the MTV Video Music Awards with You Need to Calm Down, and with Taylor, and then we won an MTV Video Music Award for Video for Good and also for Video of the Year, so 2 VMAs. And so I have a VMA, and to open the show, I wore a replica of Beyonce's Gucci outfit. Well, it's Tom Ford actually, not Gucci. It was Tom Ford. It's a stained glass it was a stained glass dress, and then he cut it into a leotard for Beyonce, and she wore it when she got the Video Vanguard Award and basically performed pretty much her whole album, the whole Beyonce album. It was iconic. But I wore it, so it was important for me when I did the MTV Music Awards to wear that same costume. I had this costume for years, but basically pulled it back out of the closet, and they got approval from Taylor's people to wear it. And here is that stained glass piece. It's this costume is so heavy, and if you were any of the people who were watching that were on the set of that You Need to Calm Down while we were performing or rehearsing for that, knows that a lot of these were popping off because some of them are missing now. They're popping off because it rubs up against itself, and I really should have sewn them on, but I just glued them on in that stained glass pattern. You can see this whole thing, and it's as close as I could get to the Beyonce costume. Maybe one day I might make it over, because I've actually found the same beads and same stones that Tom Ford used to make that costume, and it has matching boots, so maybe I'll make that again one day, because Beyonce also wore it in black in the dress form with the boots at the premiere of her album, the album listening party. So I have this. It is so damn heavy, but it's on a black sheer mesh, and then so it doesn't really stretch, but it definitely breathes a lot, which is good. Kind of pushes my boobs down a little bit, but yeah, you guys will see this in an upcoming video for when I show the behind the scenes of the VMAs, because that's coming in a future video. So make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, so you'll see it. Now I know you guys remember this. This is from the Mrs. Carter World Tour, and Beyonce wore this one. You can't really see the stones on it. It's not really reading on here, but it's completely covered in stones, just as Beyonce's was. But this is basically the leotard from the Versace replica of when she performed with Nicki Minaj. I think they do Flawless in this, yeah. And so I have this. I had a matching hat with the mohawk and all that stuff too. I don't know where that is, but basically there was this. And then I have some other matching pieces in here that the dancers wore. But anyway, I'll just show you guys this one. But this is that iconic Versace print. For some reason, you really just can't see the stones. I don't know. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ah, there we go. See Medusa? She's all like sparkles, so I placed all those stones there. This little piece here is, you can't really tell. Well, you can here. It has the stirrups built into it. This is from one of the opening costumes that Beyonce wore for the On the Run 2 tour. It's a really cool thing. It's 3 pieces. And then it also has the chaps here. So the butt's kind of out. It's really cool. You can't really tell here. It has really no hanger appeal. But there's another leotard that goes on underneath of a different fabric that goes up to the neck. It actually covers up the face. And then there's a matching hat that is upstairs in the archives, because I probably will never wear this again. It's a very hot costume where it's so... I don't know how she performed in the summertime outside in the heat, even with wind machines. This costume is so damn hot, and hers was thicker than mine. I think that was... I don't know who that was. It might have been Balmain. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on that. So now this is not a replica, but I have things that are from like an era. Like, you know, like I'll show you things like, this was not a replica, but it's from like the Formation era, because you see all the like doily type fashions where it's like see-through, like very lace and all of that, the puffy sleeve kind of thing going on. And the same thing goes for this costume too. Like it kind of has the big bell kind of sleeve, not bell, but like a very poofy sleeve. This was all from that Formation or Lemonade era, not Formation, but the Lemonade era. And that's what this costume, this actually is kind of a replica. If you look in the Lemonade video, I think it's for 6-inch heels. At the end of that, she wears this costume. So that's what this is here. I forgot to show you guys that when I was going through like the colors. But yeah, so some things are not exact replicas, but things that like she would wear this, you know? I know you guys remember this. This is the, from the Beyonce, wait, what is it? The Formation World Tour. Inside of here is the stirrups that go to this. Beyonce wore if you remember, it had the tiger print, boots that go with it, so I wore it in like stirrup form so I could turn my boots into that. And then it had the like kind of military Michael Jackson inspired Love on Top was performed in this. Daddy Lessons was performed in this. So you guys remember this with the on the sides there. One of my favorite pieces. It's seen better days, but I love it still just the same. Now this, love this. It's completely, I love anything with black mesh. I love anything you can see through. This is like one of my favorite types of things to wear. But this is basically, Beyonce wore this at the opening of the On The Run tour, the first On The Run tour. That was where this was worn. And I love it. It's like leather and mesh, zips up the front. And she wore a mask. I do have that mask somewhere. A mask that was completely mesh, made of the same thing, and they came out and performed Bonnie and Clyde, I think. That, yeah, so it's cool. I've got this really, really cool long fringe thing. I don't know if you guys remember, Beyonce surprisingly opened the BET Awards with Freedom in the Water. That's what this is from. The long fringe there. It was really cool. Again, black mesh, love. You guys probably remember this. I wore this not only in the Don't Rush video, but also this is a replica from the, is this the front or the back? Oh, it's the front. From Coachella. This is from Coachella, yeah. This is Balmain, because everything from Coachella is Balmain. So yeah, this has matching boots that go up the leg, and the garters connect to it. Beyonce's, for some reason, did not keep connecting there. Oh, you know what? It's like a little belt that goes around that connects the garters to it. But yeah, this is one of my cool things. Again, there's hair inside of it. It's great. You can't get it out. If you went to the Formation World Tour, you remember Beyonce opened the show in that really, really big hat, which I have that hat. I'll have to show you guys at some point when I take you on the tour of the archives. That huge hat and that velvet kind of antebellum lace and velvet doily type fashion costume. Well, a lot of you probably haven't seen it, but I have that costume too. It's just so hot. It's so hot. But yeah, this is the costume here. It's kind of crazy. It's got all the little tabs and things on there. It's freaking crazy. It's so hot. Guys, I can't even tell you. This is hot. I don't know how she wore it. Now this next costume is, I just love it so much. It is so iconic. Probably one of the most iconic, well, it's probably the second most iconic thing that Beyonce has worn. You guys know that in 2013, Beyonce did the Super Bowl, and she killed it. She was on stage with, she brought Michelle and Kelly on stage with her from Destiny's Child, but she basically wore this. And I made this. It's made of a faux leather. Again, it has that mesh piece in between there. And basically every stitch, every cut, everything, like I blow these things up to really see how they are. And it's got the lace skirt thing that covers the butt, but it is a leotard there. But what goes on top of it for the reveal is the jacket that Beyonce wore. And I have the same fabric, same jacket, and also the skirt that pops off too. So basically she had two reveals. Well, not two reveals, but she took them off at the same time. She took the jacket and then the bottom. So this is basically that outfit from the Super Bowl. There. Yeah. Love this. I've worn it many times. It's always so much fun wearing this, just ripping this off. One time I wore it on stage and I forgot to rip off the costume, and then at some point I remembered, oh, you're supposed to take that off, and ripped it off at the wrong time. I think it was at the Mayor's Ball I was performing. Now the last costume that I'm going to show you that is a replica is so amazing and so iconic. You guys all know what I'm talking about. I've worn it so many times. I don't want to wear it anymore, but I think people keep trying to force me to wear it because they keep requesting it. If they like, oh, we want Riley to come perform and we want her to wear the Coachella look. So the Coachella look is right here. I've got the Balmain sweatshirt, but also the denim jeans with the cutouts. Now, a fun fact about these is the cuts on the back of these jeans are exactly where the cuts are on Beyonce's jeans. I literally blow it up. I'm so anal about that, but I literally looked up how many cuts and where it was, and basically they're there. And then also the little boots that hang from there. But yeah, This is probably the most iconic thing. But that's like the last of the replicas. The next few things that I'm going to show you are more fun things that I've worn on my last concert. So if you're at my last concert, then you'll remember these. During the Love on Top sequence in my concert, you guys probably remember I wore this hat, this jacket here, with the fringe on the shoulder here, the epaulette on the shoulder there, very conductor-like. And then underneath it, so yeah, the hat, and I usually throw the hat into the audience, but underneath it was this. This is a jumpsuit that I wore that has fringe underneath the arms right here. So when I spread my arms out, you see it. But I wore this first with the jacket on underneath, and it cuts very low right here in the front of the zipper. I kind of felt like Elvis in this. This is not a replica of Beyonce, but it was kind of like heightening the blue cat suit. It was like bringing that to another level. And then, of course, the hat nods to the video for Love on Top, where Beyonce wore the hat in the video while she was dancing with the boys. And then all my dancers came out with a similar jacket in different colors, and we kept it on for Love on Top, and then I took it off when the lights went down, and then here comes this costume right here. It fits very tight. It has no hanger appeal, but it is very tight. I felt like Elvis in this with that whole Vegas look, but yeah, this is really fun because it has a lot of movement. Fringe is really good because it helps you to, it adds more movement on stage. You don't actually have to do as much work, and then when you're doing more work, it makes it look like there's a lot going on. It's lots of sparkle. The reason we like to sparkle on stage is because we want you to see from the back row what's going on. So yeah. And the last thing I'm going to show you today is actually the costume I wore in the finale of my concert. This costume was a labor of love. It took a long time to make. It's not a replica, but it has that kind of same lemonade doily type fashion thing going on that Beyonce would wear. And she did wear something very similar to this that this was based on. She wore this on the Formation tour during the Mind breakdown and all of that. But this is an amazing costume. I love this costume so much. It's got so many beads and appliques and stones. I did all of this stuff, all of this sewn on by hand, all of this fringe. This took like 2 days to make, guys. And if you notice here, a really cool fact about this, and you might see me wear this on stage again at another concert, I don't know, but because I only wore it once. But this costume, the tassels here, the fringe here moves, but the actual tassels here are glued down and sewn down. They don't move because the wind machines, when I tested this out, were blowing these everywhere. It's like we got to tack those down. So they are literally like bolted down so they don't move here with this centerpiece here. It is faux see-through, what we call it. It has a lining in it, so you actually cannot see through it. The arms, of course, there's nothing to hide on the arms, so there. You can see my makeup still on, so we got to have this cleaned before. But yeah, this is actually a really cool costume. This was my finale costume. It's also, a lot of you might have pictures of me or pictures with me in this costume because it is what I wore for my meet and greet also after the concert was done. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for touring and allowing me to show you this madness that I have created over the years. There's so many costumes here, and you guys will see me make things and see me sew on this channel. I promise you that. I will give you that. I'll give you more of that. There's a little bit of it. One day I'll take you up to the archives and we'll explore all the craziness, but it is a mess up there right now. But I just wanted to share this with you guys since I can't be on stage right now. I do miss the stage so much, and one day we'll all be back together again, and maybe I'll even be able to give you a hug. But until that time, please keep watching my videos. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification button so that you're updated to when I have new videos out. Make sure that you like the videos also so that you help my channel out and help me to grow. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.